sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
The program presented or submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
And welcome to the show. You know it's Today with Cachet. I don't have to say that every time. Anyway, if you don't, it's Today with Cachet, and welcome. I'm glad you found me. Anyway, this morning, I of course it's Thursday, so it's all about health and wellness and fitness. But first, before I get started, I have to give a shout out this morning to Ava. Ava at the Wish U Pure Bar location. Okay, so for some of you who don't know, but obviously I'm a Pure Bar fanatic, and I just recently moved back to Houston, and so I loved my Woodlands girls. It was kind of hard to find someone to replace them. But anyway, Ava, I tell you, I woke up. I get up at 5 a.m. Now, 5 a.m. in the morning to make her 5:45 class. And because why? Health, obviously, and fitness is important to me. But she kills me. And I tell you, I woke up, I rolled out of bed, the alarm went off, and I said, 5 a.m. I can't do this. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get my butt kicked by Ava. I can do this. And to be honest with you, the only time I like to wake up at 5:45 in the morning is probably for someone who's laying next to me. So at the end of the day, I have to say, Ava, you are the best. So anyway, I had to throw that out there this morning. And speaking of that reason, it's because Christy Abrams is here. Aisha's here in the studio, as well as welcome this morning. We have Carolyn Allison with Memorial Hermann. Yes, registered nurse.
Thank you.
Wow, you're an oncology navigator, is that correct?
Yes,
Ooh, that sounds big. Like, what's that all about? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, an oncology nurse navigator is basically a nurse who's certified in oncology and certified in navigation.
Okay.
And I'm an advocate for the patient and for the family.
Wow.
So if there's a patient that's diagnosed with cancer, on the front line, they'll reach out to me, and I'll try to get them set up either with a physician, educate them, provide them with resources, and see and do my basic assessment too.
Sure. And checkups and things of that nature as well as people come. Because today's topics, what we're going to talk about is obviously, we've been talking about in the beginning, was detoxing, and we talked about some recipes and nutrition. Today we're talking about your checkups. Yeah, you know, how often do you need to get your checkups done, and things of that nature. And so this morning you've joined us, the three of us rather, to talk a little bit more about that, right? Screenings and checkups and things of that nature. Yeah. So go a little bit deeper. How long have you been with Memorial Hermann, the Woodlands?
6 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, started in 2013.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's just start with the big question, right? Mm-hmm. Like, how often should people really be getting? We talk about this annually. You know, everybody thinks about that. It's the new year, right? Mm-hmm. How often?
So the main thing to think about is when you need to be an advocate for yourself. So you need to think about every day you can do an evaluation or an assessment.
That's a great point, Carolyn. I like that. That's
so
very
in your
important.
shower, you can do an assessment for lymph nodes. When you're rubbing on the soap, you can just check for lumps and bumps. Okay. You can check to see if there's anything changed. You need to be, bottom line takeaway is that you need to be your advocate for yourself and to evaluate what's happening and to know your body from day to day.
So really, basically what you're saying is when we talk about annual screenings, the screening is actually all year long leading up to the big screening, right? When you go schedule the appointment. And I mean, actually, when do you take that next step and go schedule it? When do you do that?
Well, there's different variations of that. So there could be some push from your employer probably that you need to do an evaluation or a self-check once a year. For your insurance, you need to do an evaluation as well. But just even if there's some outcome, maybe some some blood in the stool or blood in urine.
Sure.
If there's some distension,
Signs.
if you see some changes in your skin, if you see some changes in your body, then you need to take action. If it hasn't resolved in a couple of weeks, then you need to seek out a physician.
Right. And you would say, though, that obviously you're doing your self-checks, right, throughout the year. I love that point, and it's very important that we do that. And nutrition, we can speak into that, some of the key things that you need to be doing. But, if someone says, I haven't been to the doctor in 5 years to check myself, is that okay? If they're still doing their screenings and they're still checking themselves, they feel good, or no, they really need to be going in?
Really need to be going in.
Okay.
50 is like the key age.
Good point.
50.
What age should you really start? Okay, 15.
Now, it all depends, again, if you have relatives if there's first-degree relatives that have had a cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer, then you need to move that back to like the 40s and the 30s, depending upon how many first-degree patients you've had.
So you said 50 or 15 when you first
50.
started? 50, okay.
50 for the big screenings, like
Okay.
the colonoscopy, for the prostate-specific exams,
Got it.
for the digital exams, basically for prostate cancer, cervical testing,
Right.
and low-dose CTs are for 55,
Okay.
for those patients that are 55 and
Yeah,
over.
and I know you have some affiliation with the KNLY as well. So let's talk a little bit about the mammograms. Those are yearly as well. That's part of that. Would you
Yes.
agree? Okay.
Mammograms are yearly. They start at 40, though.
Okay.
So 40 for the mammograms. Again, if you have a family member, then you go a little earlier.
A little bit earlier.
But Canopy is where my office is.
Office?
I know, it's beautiful.
Really? If you have not been to Canopy, it is like a beautiful home. Your office, what a wonderful place to be.
I know. I feel spoiled every day.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
You want to tell everyone a little bit about what Canopy is for those who don't know?
Sure. Canopy is a survivorship center. It's located on 1120 Medical Plaza Drive. It was opened in 2013, and it's basically a survivorship center for the patient and for the family members, caregivers, all of the unit that have either been diagnosed with cancer, is presently going through treatment, or is finished treatment. It's a supportive network that the patients can go to. It's free for all patients to go there, and we have daily. There's 50 to 75 sessions that we have a month. There's a calendar of activities, and it can range from Tai Chi, yoga. We have Zumba on Fridays. There's coffee and conversation, as simple as that, to support groups. We have a massage therapist that's there once a week. We have a social worker that's on staff twice a week, and to do counseling. So what Canopy does is basically, as its name suggests, it's a canopy, provides a shelter for patients that are going through treatment and post-treatment, and it helps to shelter them through the storm, through this big journey that they're going through, and we are there to try to ease that stress, reduce that stress.
This is very nice, very nice.
So
No, keep going.
and so as a navigator, on the front end, we welcome patients when they're newly diagnosed, just to come in there to see what's available, to check out the educational resources, and even just those supplemental education, yoga, and all that will ease and reduce down some
Which
of the
is
stressors.
important. Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to have that. And that is 100% through donations. They don't have to pay a thing, is my understanding, correct? Which is huge.
Yes, in the Pink of Health, we have great community supporters, and all of our volunteers that work at Canopy also provide their time free of
and we have to give a shout out to Linda Nelson and
absolutely.
Amanda Full over there. They're amazing what they do.
They keep it
Speaking into what we're talking, I'm going to jump over to you, Miss Abrams, or Mrs. Abrams. I'm sorry, tell your husband I'm sorry. But speaking on the yearly checkups, and you obviously meet with a lot of clients, and you have a lot here in the Woodlands. And if you haven't gone to her, please reach out to her. But, how often are you seeing your clients either doing their yearly or not doing their yearly, and what are you seeing out there with that?
Well, it's interesting. I really have probably a 50-50. I do find that when people get closer to 50 years of age, like you said, that they're getting more mindful of it. I think that when we have so many more diagnoses happening at such a young age, that, like when you said, if you've got somebody in your family, if you've got a family history of any kind of a cancer, or even if it's just high blood pressure, we've been talking about this morning, you really need to be more on top of that. So I think that it's becoming more apparent in the society that we live in to be on top of things. So I'm seeing, I guess my answer is I'm seeing less slackers.
Good.
More people on top of it. And with that, I think we're also seeing a great increase in diagnosis. Is it because more people are going and finding out earlier? I think that if that's the case, if you've got cancer, you want to know as early as possible.
Yeah,
and so it's a good and bad in that people are getting out there earlier, and finding out what they can do. Places like KNLY are, oh my gosh, fantastic.
No, it's amazing.
I had cancer, thyroid cancer, diagnosed 15 years ago.
Wow.
My sister just recently passed away a couple of weeks from a different type of cancer, and it's just really affecting us all in so many ways. And being an oncology advocate, wow, I didn't have.
It's
that
almost like
15
it's
years
a
ago.
connection here without even knowing it.
But it's all about really living healthy day to day and finding that healthy lifestyle. And you cannot deny that screenings and knowing what's going on with you is a huge part of being healthy.
How could you ignore that?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
then, Aisha, can you chime in? I mean, obviously, you've got to do it. You've got to, check yourself out, as she was saying, Carolyn was saying. And as Chrissy's saying, people are getting more on there. But a lot of it's also your nutrition, right? Let's talk a little bit about what you can be doing. And we can't get away from that.
We can't get away from that. And that's a daily thing that you can do for your body. Feed your body the antioxidants. Eat things that are low inflammatory. Get your exercise. Get your sleep. Do those things that are going to keep you healthy naturally. Is it going to completely prevent you from anything happening? No. But it can help, for sure.
Totally. And I think we'll take a really quick commercial, and when we come back, we got some more wellness to talk about. We'll be right back.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your fusion radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
If you're tired of wasting your money on makeup bags that were not wide enough and tumbling out your cosmetics, Makeup Junkie bags are here. One of the best cosmetic and travel bags you'll ever own, handcrafted in Texas. You can visit www.makeupjunkiebags.com where you can find our collection of makeup bags, totes, man junk bags, and jewelry bags. But that's not all. These junkie bags are not only for makeup. Visit www.makeupjunkiebags.com and shop all the bags everyone loves. Get one for you, your family, and your friends.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Wellness Center is a premier wellness center specializing in effective medical interventions to help you look and feel younger. Dr. Nangrani is dedicated to providing unmatched personalized care using a holistic approach that includes sophisticated cosmetic, aesthetic, and anti-aging treatments in a warm and relaxing atmosphere. Combining a medical spa with a wellness center, we ensure the best medical treatments are complemented by specialized holistic healing techniques. Veda's treatments will enhance your natural beauty and never leave you with that done look. Visit us at vedasmedspa.com or call us at 281-298-5476.
It's time to change. If you like country, we play it. If you like pop, we play it. If you like Latin music, we play it. If you like rock and roll, we play it. Because no one does fusion music like we do. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Hey, I'm Sebastian de Villafranca. Together with Daniel Bisoño and Diana Mota, we will bring you the latest information regarding entertainment and gossip all the way from Mexico City. Join us for a really fun hour together only on KLNY 91.1 FM.
Do you feel that your energy costs are unnaturally high? Do you want to fortify your building and keep it strong and secure for years to come? Then NRG Spray Foam Installation is the answer you're looking for. Our unique foam installation is made to help our customers save in energy, prevent gas, air, and moisture infiltration, as well as helping with general stability in your building structure. Call us at 713-936-3021 or visit us online at nrgfoam.com for more information. NRG Spray Foam. Building green, living green.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
Good morning and welcome back. Welcome back. It is Thursday. It is health, wellness, fitness, all of that. This morning we're actually talking about screenings and your yearly checkups and so how important those are. But a lot of it starts with just throughout the year making sure you're taking care of yourself. Don't wait is what I think I've gotten up so far is
absolutely.
Don't sit there and do all the things you want to do. Don't follow any rules and then go, okay, it's the year. I got to go get my checkup. And you haven't paid attention to yourself. You haven't eaten nutritionally. It doesn't work that way. There's a process and it has to be done throughout the year. And speaking of that, we kind of, before commercial, we were talking to Aisha and she was saying, hey, right? What did I just say? You cannot just do whatever you want and then at the end of the year go, okay, I got to go get checked up and why is something wrong with me? Yeah. Nutrition has to be.
It's a daily thing.
I mean,
and there's lots of little things that you can do. I got a couple little tricks. There's this one thing that I love.
Ivan, can you pull up the recipe? I think she has a couple of things.
I do. I have brought a couple. Okay, so this is great. You can do this in several different ways. So I have on there, onions, garlic, tomato, bell pepper, a little bit of jalapeno. This is just a little sautéed sauce that you can put on meats. You can put on salad. You can put on anything that you want. You can put it on a piece of toast. You can put it on pasta.
You can make a soup out of that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be good?
It's
A good
just
detoxing soup.
Detoxing soup. And you can saute any combination of vegetables that you want with a little bit of sea salt and some garlic.
And what's in there? Let's see. So you've got...
This one is tomatoes and bell pepper and onion and a little bit of jalapeno. Garlic. And I think I put some sesame dressing. But this is a great thing to throw over some pasta or throw over some fish. Or, anything. But if you are eating your meals and you're topping it with extra antioxidants like this, just packed with nutrients every day, you are doing something so good for your body every day. And you're help cleaning out bad toxins. And you're help putting great antioxidants into your body. And this type of daily ritual, and it doesn't have to be the exact same every day. You can mix it up. This kind of daily ritual of getting these good nutrients into your body is going to help heal it.
I totally agree with you. All my meals start with olive oil, garlic, and onions as my core. And then, so that is always, that's huge. That's huge. You had another.
This is another little thing I do. It's just a little powder. And it's 2 parts turmeric, 1 part cinnamon, and 1 part ginger. And I mix it all up, and I put it in my coffee every morning. But you can put it, and it's delicious in coffee. It kind of tastes like a chai tea spice, and it's so yummy. But you can put it in tea, you can put it in milk, like a golden milk, and you can put a little sweetener in there, like some stevia, liquid stevia. You can put it in a protein shake. But it helps speed up your metabolism. It helps take away inflammatories in your...
All you had to say was speed up your metabolism. I think everybody in the world should have that on their list.
Burn fat.
I mean,
That's the word everybody wants to hear.
Let's talk about that. I mean, you see people all the time, right? And we're going to dig a little bit deeper into some of these questions, Chrissy, but the nutrition, I mean, how huge is that? I mean, that makes or break if people are going to follow that or not.
Yeah, and Aisha's exactly right. I mean, it's becoming, like I said in the last segment, mindfulness, and it needs to be a well-rounded mindfulness. And, you can get your screenings and you can eat healthy during the week, but then we let the weekends go like crazy, right?
Yes,
so it's constantly an up and down roller coaster, but getting in the little things really do make such a difference. I do micronutrient testing with clients, and knowing what you're deficient in or what you need to bump up makes such a difference. I had a guy the other day was just like, can you help me figure out why my fingernails are so dry? Yes, absolutely. There is exactly a micronutrient profile for that, but so many other things too. But how do you fix that? Well, maybe it's a high quality supplement. Maybe it's just getting more nutrients out of the food you're eating. And what's your gut doing? Getting your gut to uptake nutrients out of the good foods that you do eat. So that's one of the things that I do in my business, is trying to help people get that whole full picture. But it does. It makes a difference. You want to tell people your
business again?
It's Christy Abrams Nutrition, and that's the website, ChristyAbramsNutrition.com. But I do a lot of different things,
Yeah.
but you can check out the website or give me a call. My phone number's on there as well. But I just really love to find out the functional. I know I'm kind of passionate about this.
Really good. Yeah.
It's the functional. It's
I
getting
love it.
down
I
to the
love it.
nitty gritty. Why is something happening, and how can you fix it with food?
But everyone needs someone like that. You speak about navigators, you speak about advocates. You've
Yeah.
got to have somebody who's working with you, who has the passion, who has the desire, who wants to really make a difference in helping you. And let's dig a little bit deeper. So,
And if I may just interject.
oh, please
one of-
interject, Carolyn.
One
Go
of
ahead.
One of the biggest, the first questions that a lot of oncology patients
Yeah.
ask is, how did I cause this, or what?
Oh, they think it's their fault.
And
yeah.
they just pull right back on their diet. So they want to have a full makeover on their diet
Which is
because
important.
this is, they
Yeah.
feel like this is probably one of the main factors why they have
Well, sugar.
cancer. But
Sugar feeds a lot of issues,
Yeah.
right? So that for a lot of people, they do need to pull back on their sugar as they're going through treatments. And
You would agree.
so nutrition, yes, I do agree that sugars pull back for sure with a lot of ailments, including oncology. And I think a little bit of moderate portion control and as far as moderation, everything can be
Everything in moderation.
Sure.
I think if there's a patient that can't eat anything and they're either have head and neck cancer or there's some issues that they're debilitated, of course we're going to push them to some liquids that may have some extra sugar for that extra calories.
Right.
So they can do their basic tasks,
Okay. Interesting.
But,
Well, let me ask you this. So we now kind of got it, right? Like, we need to go in and get our screenings.
Right.
We're going to do what we kind of need to, we hopefully are doing what we're supposed to do. But what are some of those key red flags? So a person walks in your office, I walk in, and we're, that say something's going on. What can we look for as patients coming in when you say this that lets us know there's something going on? What are some of those key things, red flags?
well,
that go up?
like you mentioned about gut health, and if you notice that there's some distension, that the swelling in your abdomen doesn't go down, if you feel like your output, whether there's blood in your stools or blood in your urine, then of course that's a definite red flag.
Okay.
There could be some issues definitely there, and I wouldn't even wait on that. That needs to
Okay.
be absolutely taken care of within that time that you find it. If there's lumps or bumps or, and it doesn't, for breast cancer, it doesn't have to be in the breast. It can be in the axilla area.
sure.
It can be in the clavicle. So, and it can be in the lymph nodes. Breast tissue can be anywhere. So you
Interesting.
need, and even men.
Breast tissue
men,
can be anywhere.
and men need to be aware when they're having the shower that they need to check, especially if their family members, their first degree relatives have had breast cancer, their moms, their sisters, their aunts.
Okay.
So they also need to be aware. But so that's lumps and bumps there. If there's changes in your skin, if you see there might be some eczema that it may not be eczema or
Okay.
psoriasis looking
Yeah.
areas. This could be basal squamous cell. And if there's some moles that are changing colors,
Okay.
changing the shape, or that may be an indicator of melanoma.
Sure.
If an area doesn't heal, then of course.
So really, if you're seeing signs of something not right, something
Yes.
changing on you,
Anything-
don't wait. Go in
Exactly.
and get yourself checked. Get yourself screened, right?
And like you had mentioned earlier, that it's not only the 50 plus anymore. You have to be an advocate, even teenagers. So as a navigator, we go out in the communities,
Wow.
we talk to the teenagers in the high schools, we
Sure.
talk to the middle schoolers, and these energy drinks, these, they're
Yeah.
vaping, they're smoking, all these things that are precursors for any oral head and neck cancer. And of course then, when you're, these girls and these boys also need to be aware of to check themselves and know what to look for.
Right. Don't
Because-
think, oh, I'm young, I can do
Yes.
this and get away with it. That's nothing.
No,
It
because
could
more
be.
and more we're
Yeah.
having younger cervical cancer patients that are showing up.
Wow.
We're having earlier breast cancer patients, and these patients that are showing up at 20s and 30s,
Wow.
they're typically more aggressive. So they all need to be
Interesting.
aware. So it's a good thing. So we have these wellness checks for babies up until they're 18, and then they're kind of discharged from their pediatrician,
Right.
and then they go off to college,
Right.
and then they start a job.
Okay.
So what is there, a window of 10 years
8
maybe?
to 10 years, yeah.
That they're probably, they're infallible. So it's like nothing.
Nothing. I'm invincible. Until they go in and they're like,
That's
oh
what
wait,
they
I
treat
thought
themselves
this wasn't
to.
going to happen to me.
Right.
Right.
So there's that period there where they need to be an advocate because they don't fall in line with
Right.
the 30s and the 40s and the 50s screenings
Interesting.
checks.
Interesting.
So it's
There's that
important.
gap.
Yes,
that needs
but
to-
I do
yeah.
feel that the generation now are more, like you said, education. They're more proactive and they're wanting to know how to eat healthier and how to exercise more and what to do.
Very good. Very good. Well, very good. So also the other question I would have is, so people talk about going to get your checkups, and this is one that I'm kind of leery on myself, is immunizations, vaccinations, should I get the flu? I don't want any of that in my body. Am I wrong? I figure, look, why am I going to inject myself with something? I'll just keep fighting it. I'll eat right. I'll wear a mask if I have to. But, I mean, talk to us about, should people be getting immunizations? Should they get those vaccinations?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
not even a
Okay.
window of a gray
Okay.
area.
Okay.
It's absolutely even those the girls and boys for the HPV vaccine.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of questions
back
about
and forth on that.
There's a lot of the issue is not that they don't want them. It's the parents really are not educated. And you know, even myself as in the oncology field,
Yeah.
it was a question for a few years.
Sure.
And then when I went to conferences, and every conference it was brought up where HPV was
Yeah.
discussed and how it can affect oral cancer and rectal cancer and then cervical cancer for the female.
Sure.
It's not all about just the female that has to
Okay.
have HPV. It's your boys as well that you have to be immunized.
Yes.
So 11, 12, you start, and even now they've expanded it so it can be young adults, like 2021. They've even
Wow.
expanded that. So it's like a series of, if you started a few years back, it's a series of 2, but now it's a series of 3
Yeah.
immunizations. So absolutely, yes. Flu shot, yes. It protects you,
Yes, ma'am.
protects everyone around you,
Okay.
and HPV and all the other vaccinations, for sure.
Okay. Very good. Did you know that, Christy?
Well, I have a question about
Yes,
the flu
please.
shot.
Yes.
What is the window on the flu shot? Because I have not gotten one yet this year.
Oh,
Am I too
you
late?
can certainly go. No, it's never.
Yeah.
You got
Is
time
she
right
too
now.
late? Yeah.
We're
Put her
leaving.
mask on.
She's
Get
leaving
her
in a
down
few
there.
minutes, and she's going to go get her flu
She's
shot.
going to get
So
a
when
flu
you see
shot.
her not here, that's where she
That's
is.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never too late. Never too late.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with the whole HPV thing, though. I think when it first came
Yeah.
out, I remember my kids were in that. I mean, they're 21 and 23 now, so they were like 10 years ago or so.
Right.
And I remember all these moms. Of course, it was very focused on the girls.
Of course.
Yeah.
And all these moms going, well, if I give my daughter that shot, it's just going to allow her to do things that I don't really want her to do. I mean, that became like a part. I'm like, are you serious? So people were denying their
Yeah.
girls these vaccinations because they didn't want that to give them any permission.
Sure.
They're kind of two different things.
So we all have HPV at some point in our life.
We do?
But then it
Oh.
either
It's a virus.
dissipates.
Okay.
Yes, it dissipates,
Okay.
or it can convert into
Something more serious.
with carcinogens and all
Okay.
that. Then it develops into a growth or HPV.
And have they figured out why? Is it because of nutrition? Is it because of just the body? Some bodies react differently than others. Yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on our
A lot of
immune
factors.
Variety
A lot of
of things,
factors.
You know,
a lot
and,
of factors.
and so I attended a conference one year, and
Okay.
it was at the Overcom, and one of the doctors suggested, he said, you know, at the end of the day, it's not about sex, it's about cancer. So the HPV,
Yeah.
so we had a lot of parents that would say, I'm not interested because, oh no, my
Right.
child is not going to be engaging in that
Exactly.
right now. So they would put it off. but
I
it's,
see.
You know,
And then they didn't realize their child was engaging in it, or not.
Or it doesn't matter.
It doesn't even
It doesn't
matter. It doesn't
matter.
matter. It
Everyone
doesn't
carries
matter.
it.
Yeah.
it's not
Well, the
about
virus
sex.
is, we've talked a couple times on the show about the liver. I mean,
Oh, God,
I'm so
yes.
into like the liver, and that's such a huge filter. But we have so many different viruses. You know, easily at any of us could have 60 viruses in our liver being held there, and some of those viruses are passed to us in the birth. So, if I have HPV and I give birth to my 2 boys, and they could easily have
see.
HPV virus in their body,
They're not
and it has
dead.
nothing to do with sexual activity. It has
just
nothing
got
to do with
passed
it, and
down.
they're
Right,
boys,
got
right?
passed
Passive.
So there's a lot of viruses, and a couple of that are major that are like that. And so then we go back to also what I talked about, cellular health.
Yeah.
How are you protecting your cells? Are you keeping them from mutating? What could be a cancer cell that's sitting in there, and it starts to mutate. So Yes, it could be another whole discussion.
Well, we will be talking about. We'll have a,
We'll come back to that.
we'll have a sex topic discussion. No,
Sex in your liver.
Next week coming up. Anyway, we'll take a quick commercial. We'll be right back.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your fusion radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Cupcakes and Bubbles, located at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene, mangia italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. It's time to change. If you like country, we play it. If you like pop, we play it. If you like Latin music, we play it. If you like rock and roll, we play it. Because no one does fusion music like we do. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
This is E.L. Crane of Real Estate U here each and every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 91.1 FM The Boss. Remember, that's Real Estate U. Insightful, informative, and a little humor tossed in. Real Estate U, listening live, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. each and every Saturday, 91.1 The Boss.
Do you feel that your energy costs are unnaturally high? Do you want to fortify your building and keep it strong and secure for years to come? Then NRG Spray Foam Insulation is the answer you're looking for. Our unique foam insulation is made to help our customers save in energy, prevent gas, air, and moisture infiltration, as well as helping with general stability in your building structure. Call us at 713-936-3021 or visit us online at nrgfoam.com for more information. NRG Spray Foam. Building green, living green.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
Good morning and welcome back. Welcome back to Today with Cachet. It is Thursday, so we're talking everything health, wellness, fitness, checkups, screenings, all that yearly stuff you need to be doing, both at home as well as going to your doctor, your nutritionist yearly to do these things. So we've been kind of covering it all. And Carol, you just kind of gave us a lot of information, which was very nice. But you know, you hear some people who say this, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this, that I got my blood done, right? Like I went and got my blood done. And I got all of my numbers and all my information, so I kind of get an idea of where I stand. Things look okay. I'm going to take it to my doctor. I can go do that, be done, and I'm good for the year. Because it pretty much tells me what's going on. I'll check myself at home. My blood said I'm okay. I'm good. Are they good?
Well, the blood is certainly a good indicator of a lot of ailments, and you know, can certainly some red flags if there's some things that are elevated. But you know, there has to be. There's a lot of other things you need to do, the vital signs, and just to check the blood pressure and your blood sugar and your cholesterol and you know your weight and checking on your lungs and feeling for the abdomen.
Can I skip the weight thing? I do. I get out of it. I don't know how they let me do it, but I don't get on the scale when I go in. Okay, but keep going, Carol. I said
You don't need to worry
I'm
about
bad. Okay,
No.
go ahead.
No, and then
I'm just teasing it.
you know, sometimes they'll check the abdomen, and if you need to do digital rectal exam for the men, and
Right.
for the women, a Pap smear.
All that
so
stuff.
yeah,
So
there's
just
a,
getting the blood along is not enough.
No.
You can't get away and say, well, my blood looked good, because people do this. They'll go, I checked my blood numbers are good, and I'm eating, I think I'm pretty healthy. You hear that, right? Some of your patients,
all the time.
clients, rather?
Yeah. I have a salad every couple of days. Isn't
So
that
we're
good
good.
enough?
I walked yesterday to the car.
Yeah.
I got my exercise, yeah.
There's people out there who are guilty of that. All these things are
Yeah.
saying we're laughing, but
And then they
it's
wonder
true.
why something's wrong, right? Like, why are they not losing the weight? Why are they getting sick,
yeah, consistency is
Yeah.
key.
I do think that blood work is a really great indication of knowing whether or not you've got something going on. And I think that, I mean, it's not guaranteed. There's a lot of things that can be going on with you and your blood looks great. But I will say that if you make a point of at least doing annual blood work, talking about cardiometabolic blood work, that's looking at your lipid panel, full lipid panel. So we're looking at particle size too, not just, oh, my doctor told me that my LDL's high, but my HDL's is good too, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to look at than just some of those
Yeah.
basics. With thyroid cancer, I'm a big advocate of really getting your thyroid tested, not just because you put on 20 pounds and you can't lose it. That becomes the part where a lot of
I'm
women are
checking
like,
for
well, it must be
anything.
my
Yeah,
thyroid.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yes, it could be your thyroid, but I also find with a lot of people bring me in their blood work and they're like, well, my TSH is fine, so my doctor said I'm fine. That's not always the case. I like to dig a little deeper. Antibodies, like what are your antibodies? That's something that all doctors don't test for, but is a big indication of an autoimmune. Well, there's 105 autoimmune diseases,
Wow.
and chances are you got one of them or more. And so, really going a step further. And I'm not trying to keep plugging myself, but the blood work that I do is pretty detailed, and you can get the same blood work from other
Well, you should
doctors.
plug yourself.
Well,
Look at me.
I do a
Joy.
SpectraCell. It's called SpectraCell. Y'all can look that
Okay, go
up.
ahead,
The different tests that I do, but just go to your doctor, and you got to be your own advocate.
You do.
Because you go like, oh, I think I need my thyroid checked, and the doctor will be like, okay, well, I'm going to run your TSH, and if it's good, then I'm not going to worry about that anymore. But that's, I think our
That's a very good
doctors
point.
are.
Well, the problem is people want to, correct me if I'm wrong, they want to say, well, I went to the doctor, and then they want to blame and say, well, the doctor didn't say, or I didn't get this, and so why something. But we have to remember, it's like with anything. Doctors see tons and tons, not to say you're not important, but think about when you get an abundance of something. Could you, if someone comes into your office and they say something or they're not talking enough, or it's chances are some things could get categorized or seen, right, or misdiagnosed. So you've got to be your advocate. You've got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, let's speak
You
on
need
that,
to-
right?
yeah.
Like, because so many people will say that. Well, I went to the doctor and the doctor didn't find it. So what? Well, okay, so what? You're gonna not be healthy and live, or you got to still live, right?
Yeah, the key is communication. So if
Okay.
you're having an issue and you feel like, because I mean, if they're going to do just a straight blood work, a
Yeah.
straight CBC panel, there's not too much that you can pull from that. Now, if they're looking for specifics like CA 125 for cervical, if they're looking for a PSA, they'll order that extra if you have trouble urinating, if you're up frequently urinating at night, or if you have blood in the urine, then they'll do an extra PSA, or vitamin D is also another important variable that we need to test for, because that affects a lot of things in our joints and all that, so, or bones, sorry. But so the doctor would not, the more you communicate with the doctor and the more you're transparent with all the issues and trouble areas that you're experiencing, then the better the outcome and the better the profile.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I go back to gut health,
Okay.
right? So gut health, cellular health, huge from being healthy from the inside out. So what's a great indication of what's going on in our gut is our B vitamins, our B complex profile, and glutamine and those kind of things, which you can find through the micronutrient test. But B12 is another huge one having to do with the heart and just cardio in general, stress. Pantothenic acid, it's our anti-stress vitamin. Look at vitamin C. We look at glutathione. People are overactive in their exercise, and that, so, which is good to have that. But then glutathione is an indicator of a number of things. So when you look at a whole panel, you can put it all together.
Because you can actually, the other side of it is you can actually start to hurt yourself right? If you over exercise or you overdo things as well, there's that other side of it too. Well, I got to be healthy. I got to be so healthy. I'm going to go run 100 marathons tomorrow and do 50 Ironmans. I should be healthy. Well, not necessarily.
Yeah, some of the worst blood work I've seen is Ironman.
I
And
can
they're
imagine.
healthy on the outside, right? And but
the lactic acid has taken over, I'm sure.
Well, it's a variety of things to look.
How does that get out of their body? It never leaves.
Right. It's just you're
Yeah.
right. You're right that you can overdo, but you also just have to make you got to make amends for that. So if you're going to train for something like that and commit to it, then you have to be taking care of yourself to uber extent.
I was about to say
And
that.
you know,
And most
I mean,
people can't do it. It would take literally every day, all day long. People are working. It would take a level of discipline that's probably hard to do, huh?
Mhm. I have a client that spent time really. I mean, he brought in a spreadsheet of just craziness of
Yeah.
how specifically he was trying to get every micronutrient, and he was making these shakes with this odd things that he was, he just wanted it to be perfect. And he'd been doing that for a while. Then I actually ran his blood work, and he had a lot of deficiencies. He's like, how is that happening?
How does that happen?
And it's because it's not as easy as just, why is your body not
Great
uptaking
point.
those nutrients when you're giving it to you, but it's not getting into your cell. Really getting into your cell is what's key. So yeah, even vitamin D, intracellular vitamin D versus extracellular vitamin D. How are you getting it across your cell, and how are you using it? Cell membrane health. I mean, again, another whole topic we can talk about.
Yeah,
And that's, antioxidants come in. That's where, there's a lot that we have to look at. It just gets bigger and broader than the average person wants to put into their brain. So,
Obviously,
but it starts in the gut, and it starts with what we're eating.
So in summary, as we're going along here, and that take us to our next question, but obviously we need to go. We got that down, right? We need to get screened. There's a certain age where even it's no longer wait till you're 40, wait till you're 50. It's look at your body, look at what's going on. If you notice some stuff, some changes, get in there.
Yes.
Also, your hereditary. If there are some things going on, make sure you don't worry about the age, but you worry about some of those factors.
Yeah, your family
So you're
history.
in there, right? You're getting your screenings. You're eating your nutrition. So what are some things that you would say, both, and this is to both of you, as tips that people can do, both on whether it's from the eating aspect, whether it's from how they take care of themselves through their screenings daily throughout the year, that can keep those colds away, keep those flus away as much as possible, keep their body on par as much as possible? What are some of those tips?
The more research is sleep and
Oh,
rest.
yes.
And that's the
That
latest,
is
that's the
so
latest
important.
buzzword is sleep.
nailed it.
And as moms and professionals, we're working during the day, and then we're working during the night, and we're overextending ourselves. And I'm speaking to the masses, but I need to listen myself,
Oh,
because
sure.
I'm not doing that. But the more rest we get, the more repair, and then the more our anxiety level goes down, our blood pressure
huge
goes
one.
down.
That's a huge
So
one.
that's partnering with good food.
Right, and I'll
Always.
add to that, sleep is absolutely huge, but here's something that all of you need to be mindful of. What is it that's affecting your sleep? So I have people that are like, I'm just not a big sleeper, I don't really need that much sleep. There are people who are like that, and there's people we know that, and you may be one of them, that needs more sleep than the average person. But when you have issues, when you have things that wake you up in the middle of the night, it's really great to go back and look, what did I eat yesterday? Did I have a different routine that day? Did I eat late into the night? Did I eat spicy food? Did it cause a reflux type of a situation when I went to lay down at night? How much alcohol did you have before you went? Say alcohol people try to convince me every day that alcohol puts them to sleep, that they're drinking themselves to sleep because it helps them fall asleep. It's one of the biggest sleep disruptors that we can actually put into our body is alcohol.
Right.
So you may temporarily have that sleepiness,
You may sleep a
but
couple
it then
quick hours
disrupts
and-
it in the middle of the night. So our cortisol levels, what's happening in our body before we go to sleep, as we fall asleep, and then throughout the night, those are the main key things to go back a step. Again, functional nutrition, functional medicine, go back a couple of steps and find out what's leading to you not sleeping well. I don't sleep well. I'm sure there are a million doctors out there going, people walk in every day. I don't sleep well, give me a prescription. Well, that's
Why is
don't
everybody
you
trying to pop a
fix-
pill to sleep? Why is that the
Because they are not
thing?
willing to
Yeah.
look at what they're doing, and because if they see what it is that they're doing, they might have to stop it.
Correct.
Oh, if I see that
Accountability.
3 drinks every night is my problem and I have to stop drinking, well, I don't want to do that. So if I just don't talk about it, it goes away.
Right.
And
Take the pill.
but do you want to be healthy from the inside out? And do you want to have good sleep that then catapults everything else into happening?
And not
There's
only
just-
that, right? The pills that you're taking have side effects. So
Sure.
you say, okay, I'm going. How many times do we hear that well, I'm going to take this to aid this, but then it's going to disrupt this? So you're really trading one problem for maybe 2 or 3 other problems. So just do what you need to do, right?
Yeah, try not to be taking too much
Yeah.
medication and pills to be sleeping. We
Right.
monitor a lot of our cancer patients as well if they're having issues with sleep because they need to be repaired.
Sure.
And if just different things that they can do, like there's apps that they can go in that will help them with soft music and just different can put them in that phase, that mode.
I've noticed that if I do a late exercise in the evening, and I say late, it can vary for what you do, whether it's a walk, whether it's, in my case, a Pure Barre class or whatever. I know I should have a Pure Barre sign.
Pure Barre,
above
I know.
me.
They should
They
be
should have a
paying you.
sign up here. Yeah, but no, the point is, and then I take a nice bubble bath or whatever, relax.
Relaxing, that's good.
Then when you go, you actually will go to sleep a lot. It's like you said, it's allowing your body to calm itself down, work it out, whatever that is, so you go to bed, relax. Whatever it is for each person.
Yeah, get
But-
off those electronics.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
some herbal teas.
Yeah.
Relaxing baths. And so all natural things,
Yeah,
right? All
yeah,
natural things.
yeah.
There's a good app that has monks, chanting monks.
Okay.
We'll have to figure out what it is.
You're gonna
We'll
try
talk about that on
We'll
another
do that.
show.
We'll try to. We'll have the chanting monks. on
We
the
could
next
have a
show.
sleep show. We
Well,
have a
we
sleep
could put
show.
some beds in here, and we can have our.
Okay.
We'll take a quick commercial. We'll
Maybe
be right
let's
back.
not do that.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
If you're tired of wasting your money on makeup bags that were not wide enough and tumbling out your cosmetics, Makeup Junkie bags are here. One of the best cosmetic and travel bags you'll ever own, handcrafted in Texas. You can visit www.makeupjunkiebags.com where you can find our collection of makeup bags, totes, man junk bags, and jewelry bags. But that's not all. These junkie bags are not only for makeup. Visit www.makeupjunkiebags.com and shop all the bags everyone loves. Get one for you, your family, and your friends.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Wellness Center is a premier wellness center specializing in effective medical interventions to help you look and feel younger. Dr. Nangrani is dedicated to providing unmatched personalized care using a holistic approach that includes sophisticated cosmetic, aesthetic, and anti-aging treatments in a warm and relaxing atmosphere. Combining a medical spa with a wellness center, we ensure the best medical treatments are complemented by specialized holistic healing techniques. Veda's treatments will enhance your natural beauty and never leave you with that done look. Visit us at vedasmedspa.com or call us at 281-298-5476.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene,
Mangia
mangia
italiano.
italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY
Cupcakes and Bubbles,
91.1 FM.
located at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Do you feel that your energy costs are unnaturally high? Do you want to fortify your building and keep it strong and secure for years to come? Then NRG Spray Foam Installation is the answer you're looking for. Our unique foam installation is made to help our customers save in energy, prevent gas, air, and moisture infiltration, as well as helping with general stability in your building structure. Call us at 713-936-3021 or visit us online at nrgfoam.com for more information. NRG Spray Foam. Building green, living green.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
Good morning and welcome back. You know it, it's Thursday, so we're talking everything health, wellness, fitness. And this morning's topic has been a lot about screenings, making sure you're getting your yearly screenings, and certainly how to stay nutritional throughout the year, so making sure that you're eating right, you're exercising, and doing the things you can do, as Carolyn was saying. Keep an eye on yourself, look at yourself, don't just be blinded. It's okay to look at our bodies and see and make sure that we're on top of ourselves. But Christy, one of the things I wanted to also say, so we're or foods, like there's got to be some foods that probably you should steer away from more than others that could hurt in the sleeping, the nutrition. And
right. I think that if I had to pick one food or food group, that would be something that we would stay away from. It'd be fried food.
Oh, God, well, I do, so I'm good there.
Right, and you know, it's like I have an air fryer now. It's super awesome. I can make my own sweet potato fries. There's so many options. Yeah. But I think that when we're mindful, it's a choice of saying I'm at a restaurant with a group of friends and I'm not going to order the calamari or the fried shrimp or, you know, I have so many people like, can I just go to Chick-fil-A? Isn't that great? Well, everything at and there's a lot of good choices at Chick-fil-A.
There's a lot of restaurants out there.
But the deep fried is something that everybody should just be saying that's not on my list of possibilities. Right. If everybody just took fried food out of their diet.
Wow, that's a huge.
There's a huge benefit.
Well, I know that because I did that many years ago. I mean, do I ever eat a French fry? Okay, yeah, but it's very far in between, and it's not going to be fast foods, but it's not going to be a fast food joint.
Right, and could I go a step further and say just take fast food out? Yeah, I mean, and I do too. But I think that I run into those mom clients that's like, listen, I have to go through a fast food between this child event and this one, and we go, it's a convenient thing.
But you know what? I love when people say that. Let's define what fast food is. I'm not saying, I understand you may have 30 minutes, but that does not mean it allows you to go in and grab a fried fast food. You can go in that same restaurant and grab a salad. Yes. Or there are way too many choices now, so you can be fast, but you still have to be smart.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. And it's just, what we teach our children, how we're starting to, put that. Sometimes I see people putting a lot of emphasis in their own body, but then not thinking about what's going in their children's body.
I'll have a salad, but you can have a burger.
Right,
exactly.
Right.
Good point.
So, fried food, fast food, highly processed foods. Those are all not going to be good choices. If we can go look at the other end, what do we have? Whole foods, fruits, vegetables, high quality animal product. If you're a meat eater, grass-fed, grass-finished beef, chicken without hormones and antibiotics.
That's a good one to know, though. Stay away from the fried foods, because I think people still don't necessarily listen to that.
Yeah. What were you going to say? So we're talking about fried foods and oils. What about avocado oil, coconut oil? What's your thoughts on
Yes,
those?
there's definitely a couple of really good oils. So. Coconut oil been huge now with keto. Like everybody's, getting into coconut, everything. Avocado oil, again, depending on when you're cooking and what you're doing, they do have a little bit of different flavors, and they have different smoking points.
Right.
So it depends on what you're making. Olive oil, super great for omega-3s. Still different quality of olive oil, so get the best that you can. But omega-3s is what covers our cells. So when we have a really good covered cell, when our omegas are up where they need to be, which is something I can actually test for with blood work, when our omegas are where they need to be, our omega-6, omega-3 ratio is good, our cellular health, our membrane health, we want to get that as good as we can. So our whole body's made up of cells, right? So, and it's like, it's really hard to be thinking about a skin cell versus a liver cell. There's all kinds of cells.
So many.
But when we eat with the mindset of keeping healthy from the inside out, we want those omegas to be up so our cell can breathe. So if I asked you, what is one thing you can't live without for very long? Oxygen.
Right.
Our cells need oxygen. They have to breathe. That oxidative stress that we can put on ourselves, our cells, is what breaks them down, leaves them open to free radicals. And why is that not the cancer cell that then is exposed to being able to, grow? And so I do think that good quality, high quality omega-3 oils are great. Definitely keep those in your diet, but take out other things. So, I mean, I don't see a lot of foods fried in olive oil. I put olive oil in my air fryer when I do my sweet potato fries. It's a tablespoon for an entire sweet potato. So there's a little difference. I also think, what is that food being breaded in, if it's being breaded? So it's not just the oils, it's whatever's wrapped around it.
And I think to all of what you're saying, people are listening and going, well, that's, it's a lot, but it becomes a lifestyle. Once you start building upon this and you do this and you start educating, you start doing little by little, step by step. We're not saying you're going to tonight hear all these different things as we're doing this and then go run out and do it all. It's a building, it's a process, it's a learning.
Absolutely.
And over time, if you make the steps and you're consistent, then you create the lifestyle for yourself. And then you can just live it and it becomes second nature. See, I mean, you hear you talking, it is second nature to you because you've lived it, you breathe it, and you do it. And, and back to what you were saying, just in general, being proactive, right? Overall, going in, getting yourself taken care of, watching yourself, staying on top of your nutrition. I mean, that's key. Can you remind everyone out there, again, just for listeners who may have not remembered, who you're with, your name, a little bit more about your background, and a little bit more about Memorial Hermann and what you do. Yeah.
Well, I'm Carolyn, and I'm the oncology nurse navigator. My home is in KNLY, which is a beautiful survivorship center here at Memorial Hermann, and 1150 Medical Plaza Drive. On the second floor, Suite 250. It's run by volunteers that are well educated, lovely to speak with. They are there to engage and to reduce down the anxiety of any of the patients that walk in through those doors. And the main thing is to be open, seek education. Even if you're not feeling well, or if you have this new diagnosis, seek education, be proactive, and know that there are folks to help. And at KNLY and Memorial Hermann, we are here to help you. Mental health is a big thing, and it's not only about the patient, it's about the family, the whole unit. And there's so many resources that we have available that can help and work through all that. Basically, just seek support.
That's huge. That's huge. And so, someone's out there who wants to. You have something to say.
I was just going to ask you. So, when someone is diagnosed, whether it's them or a family member, can anybody go to KNLY?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
so it doesn't matter what hospital you were diagnosed or anything. Your services are for
as long as
anybody and everybody out there.
You treated in the Montgomery area, but of course we never turn anyone down.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So
good.
That's huge. Well, it's huge, and that's why it's so important to support it. There's different fundraisers done throughout the year, but definitely donations are always great for it because it's 100%.
Philanthropy.
Right?
Yes.
And so to be able to fund that and to keep that going, it's something very huge to support. I mean, I was amazed and floored by when I went in there. And of course, breast cancer has hit me with both my grandmother, my aunt, so, it affects all of us. I mean, what I learned when I was talking and had the doctor on is anyone that's a female, 40 or over, is a prospect for breast cancer. So with that type of reality, we all need to be supporting this type of programs and things of this, nonprofits or things like that, as well as, obviously, there's a lot more today that has helped us in curing and combating it. But just to be a female and 40 years old or older, I mean, That's huge.
Yes,
Yeah,
awareness is
so-
the key. And in the Pink of Health luncheon they do every
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
they're the big proponent and the big
We
supporters.
love
and
it.
that's how
Who doesn't go there? If you don't go there, I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty huge.
And
yeah,
it's for
yeah.
both breast and ovarian cancer. So it's pink. It may be in the Pink of Health and everything's pink.
And
but
the teal as
definitely
well.
teal and
Yes,
pink
yes,
is the way
yes.
to go. Yes.
Yes. So, in summary, I think, Christy, do you want to summarize it up, and then next week what we're going to be talking about?
I mean, I definitely think that screenings are super important. Getting your the mindfulness of being an advocate for yourself. I can't stress that anymore, and it's what can be the make or break of making a good choice with food or a good choice with listening to how you feel, saying something's not right. You said something great earlier, which is just you got to be so in tune with your body that when it's out of tune, you know it, and then follow up on that. That's super, super key. And as we started this January with trying to make this 2020 the healthiest year, let's look back at the end of December of 2020 and say, I have made this my healthiest year yet. And then keep building on that. Maybe 2021 will even be more healthy. So
And you'll be listening to Christy. She's not going to let you get away with it. So, anyway, have a great day. Thank you, ladies, for joining. We'll see you later.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.